day, everyone, and thank you for joining our webinar for this month on the topic optimizing network operations with device repair and refurbishment. And with me here, I have Olusegun Johnson.
Oh, thank you very much, Felicia, and hello to everyone. I'm excited to be here.
All right, thank you for honoring our invitation. He's the manager for products and services at Zoracom. Okay, if you're joining us for the first time, you're highly welcome. And thank you to all our viewers who have stayed tuned on this channel throughout this year. Your presence is highly appreciated. All right, it's a very interesting topic and we're going to be discussing a lot. So stay tuned, keep your questions, keep your contribution because they will be welcomed. And also a way for us to know further on how to serve you better on this. So the first question I have for you today, Mr. Shegun. All right, why are more tele operators rethinking their approach to network hardware maintenance and upgrade?
All right, first, thank you very much for having me. And there's a lot for us to really unpack when it comes to this particular topic regarding to Renew, which is a product in route. So we are focusing on refurbishment. So yeah, back to your questions. Why telecom operators are rethinking their approach? So let me just put it in a context.
Okay.
So traditionally now, telco operators and ISPs, the way they do their sphere is by replace and upgrade. Okay, so if a sphere is faulty, they just go for outright replacement.
Oh, really?
Yes, and upgrade to a new one and keep that one that they replace and dump it somewhere. It is only few telcos that are adopting the repair and return. There's something called repair and return method as well. Okay, so only few telcos are adopting it, and this is applicable for devices like switches, routers, firewall, and a lot. So in recent times, this approach seems not to be sustainable because of the current economic situation, the forex and the likes. So buying a new equipment and replacing outright is now, eating into the OpEx. So why are they rethinking it? First, it is giving a lot of pressure on their OpEx. OpEx, I mean operational expenses and the operational expenditure that they incur to keep the network running. And these equipment are the key devices to making sure that they can delight their customers. So pressure on OpEx is one of the reasons why they are rethinking their maintenance. And one other thing is sustainability demands. There is high demand from regulators, even from the customers themselves. Customers want to do high capacity internet, high-speed internet. The regulator is on their neck to make sure that they deliver quality service. So, and in doing this, it requires money to put those infrastructures in place. And how do you get it? So if you are all the time tying down your money on new equipment, how do you scale? How will you keep the business sustainable? So those are the things they are trying to rethink, see how they can maximize the operational expenses they have and how they can scale by growing with few budgets, the small budgets that they have. So that's why they are rethinking their approach and seeing how they want to manage and operate their network.
Wow, this actually sounds interesting and very educative.
It's very interesting.
Okay, if you're just joining us, we're discussing on the topic optimizing network operations with device repair and refurbishment. Okay, you're highly welcome. And please stay tuned because we have a lot to discuss and a lot for you to take home. So kindly prepare your questions. Keep them intact so you can drop them on the comment section if the need arises. And we'll pick it up from there to answer every bit of it. Okay, so the next question I have here, because I actually have a lot that...
Yeah, let's unpack them.
Okay. So what are the strategic values of device refurbishment for businesses?
Okay, I would like to just put this forward first.
Okay.
refurbishment is more than fixing old stuff.
Okay.
It's not okay, you're fixing something that is old. No, it's more than that. It is a strategic weapon, and it helps us to deliver values in 4 big ways, 4 very big ways. So you are looking at driving cost efficiency. I think I mentioned it earlier how you drive that cost efficiency down by reducing hardware, money spent on hardware replacement. That's one big strategy, value that you have when you are refurbishing. It helps you to enhance your brand equity through responsible environmental action. What do I mean by that? So you on those model of replacement, you just keep those devices somewhere in the warehouse and they are there, just there. So at the end of the day, you are keeping space in the warehouse. You are on a device that you are no longer using.
Sure.
So in the long run, you would want to bring in some new devices, and a certain device that you feel is no longer in use is taking the space. What are you going to do? You are going to be disposing of them, maybe by taking them to one place and burning them, and thereby causing some environmental harm into the society. So by so doing, not doing that, you need to enhance your brand equity by doing the right thing. Then of course it generates revenue for those organizations that has those equipment kept in the warehouse. How? Imagine that you have replaced an equipment, okay? So you don't want to use that equipment again, but it is you as an organization that don't want to use it. An organization is there that still wants to use those equipment. Okay, so what we do in Zoracom, like put it in context, Zoracom as an organization, we are into observability, into cybersecurity and infrastructure. So this is the infrastructure part of our business, where we are talking about this renew and refurbishment. So those equipment, we help organizations to collect them, refurbish them, and look for market and resell them.
Wow.
So in turn, you generate a lot of money back to yourself, not just from selling, repairing and selling those equipment to people that need it. You are reducing your warehouse cost as well, because in space you are making. You are reducing your warehouse cost as well. So that's another way to generate revenue. Then it helps you to expand your reach, by making technology available. So the money that you generate, you can spread it into another expansion of your whole network. For example, you are deploying 5G, you have some equipment that are no longer in use. You did a facilitation, those equipment are repaired and sold to people that need it. You have generated funds to expand maybe your 5G or your broadband internet, maybe as a telco or an ISP organization. So those are the 4 key big ways. You drive cost efficiency, enhance your brand equity, you generate revenue, and you expand your reach, basically.
Wow. I guess everybody wants to, when it comes to money and it comes to saving of course, everybody's here. It's
about cost saving.
Itching to hear how am I going to save cost? How am I going to save that extra money that I can use for something else? So now you have that information, you have that idea. I guess everybody is itching to know more about that financial aspect of this product. And that brings me down to this question that I want to ask, because money well spent, it will be used for something substantial.
Absolutely.
And then also there is no business that we want to hear about waste of money or waste of cost. Everybody is looking out to gain profit and also to save money. So why is refurbishment financially and operationally beneficial?
Thank you very much. It is simple. It is simple mathematics.
Okay.
Okay.
So how is that?
You save up to 70 to 80%. That's why it is financially and operationally beneficial. So how do I mean you are saving cost up to 70 to 80%? Okay, so imagine that instead of me replacing a faulty device or damaged device with an abstractly new one, I replace it with a refurbished one that will serve the same purpose of the new one. So imagine I'm getting that new one for $100, okay? And the refurbished one, I refurbish it for around 25 to 30 USD. Look at that, that's 70, a margin of 70 is hard. So you are looking at saving costs of up to 70% on that new ones. So instead of buying the new ones, you go for refurbish. And reason why in the recent times people go for refurbishes, you have to go for refurbish, is that the technology that equipment is serving has not changed. So I'll give more details on that in later part, but the key thing is you save between 50 to 80% because there are different types of devices. So let's just put it within that range. 50 to 80% of your phone is saved. Then another thing is that, operationally, refurbished devices they are not just okay, we refurbish them and send it back. They are as good as the new ones. Really? So don't let us be fixated in that term refurbished. After all, a large number of us in Nigeria here, most of the phones that a lot of people use is refurbished. Even laptops are refurbished. Wow. People, yes, because it's expensive now to buy new computers, new laptops. So a large number of computers that we are going to see, new ones are refurbished. It is already used, so people collect it, refurbish it. If you need to change the casing, they change the casing, do some aesthetics to it, and it is resold at a much more cheaper price. Some laptops going for 1.4 million, you could get it, same laptop for 400K. Look at that margin. And it will still serve you the same purpose. So that's just what we are saying here. So, and before those devices are pushed out, they are well tested, and they are certified. What I mean certified is that it's like you have the record of what was done with it, what was replaced, the hardware that was changed. So it's like you're having a new device because when you open it up, you are going to be cleaning it up, you are going to be doing a lot of things. And you are pushing out, it's like you're pushing out a new device. It's just that it is not being rolled out from the original equipment manufacturer's factory. So it's as you getting a new device. And most of the time, they are updated to the latest firmware. The firmware that is running on the newer version of those devices. It's on there. Wow. So that's just it.
I guess this is getting more and more interesting. And there's just like a scenario I was just trying to play in my head. This is me thinking that I'm the kind of person that once something is false, instead of going to repair it. So I imagine that time being wasted, and then if I finish repairing, it's out of experience, and then it goes bad again. So I already have that notion. Once something is fault, I abandon it. I prefer saving up money to buy a new one. So there's something you said that most of the devices we are getting now are being refurbished. And refurbished there in our own layman, he is using technical terms, but in our own layman understanding is repair an old device and then making it partially new,
so let me
use again.
Repair.
Okay.
Yes, repair is part of refurbish.
Okay.
But repair is not refurbish.
Okay.
So you have a device or equipment that got damaged. They only repair what got damaged and give it back to you. Okay. So in the process of that repair, you don't know what may have happened to other components. So they repaired it, you used it, and you now start and maybe add data problem. But when it comes to refurbish, you look at that device holistically. Okay, maybe when you got it, there is a part that is damaged. For example, let's say this phone now got damaged. The power is not coming on. So when the diagnostics was done, it's well, okay, the power sector on that phone has a problem. Okay, so ideally you give it to that roadside guy. He's just going to fix you the power sector. Okay.
Meanwhile, there's something.
So maybe in the future, next 3 months now, it is the charging port that has issue. You still go back to him. But when it comes to refurbishment, Yeah, we found out that it is that power sector that has issues. But it's going to be run through a diagnostic test and see other parts of that device, that may have a potential issue, and they will be cleaned up. So then also when devices are done, they will be tested, rigorous testing. They go through rigorous testing to confirm that they can stand that test of being pushed out as a near to new equipment, because what they are using to replace those damaged parts are the original spares from the OEM themselves. So just to put it in context, to refurbish, repair, they can be used interwoven, but technically it means of slightly different things.
Wow, this is quite interesting, and actually it has opened both my mind to know a lot about this whole thing. So if you're still tuned out there, thank you for staying tuned with us, and if you're just joining us, thank you for coming into this section. We are discussing on the topic, optimize network operations with device repair and refurbishment. So kindly prepare your question. I guess you have a lot on your mind that you want to channel down to our speaker here. So kindly feel free, jot out your questions. You can drop them on this comment section and I'll pick it up from there. Or if you would like to ask him your question directly, so just signify by a raise up of hand and I will unmute you to speak. So I still have a lot to discuss with you. And then this brings me down to this question I want to ask you. So what are the key benefits? That was why I made mention earlier that I already have this perspective that once the device is spoiled, I just throw it away and then set my mindset that I'm saving up to buy something new. But from what you've expatiated right now, that means that there's a lot that we don't know about on this refurbishment and on this product you mentioned Renew. So what are the key benefits of refurbishment that contributes to cost efficiency and sustainability? And how does your renewal process work?
Okay, thank you very much, Felicia, for that question. So let me just put it out there. Refurbishment isn't just about saving money.
Okay.
It is about maximizing every device value. Let me put it in the way you will understand. Okay? You have a phone, and something happened to that phone, you just got damaged, and you have some key information on it that you need to recover. Okay? And something you put the screen just went off like that. So you could get a new one, but you don't want to get a new one because of the information on it. So in that case, you could afford to get a new one. So it's not only about cost, but about the value. So there's a value in that device that you are looking out to get, making you to want to fix the screen. Same thing applies. When it comes to the ISP and the telco space, there are devices that deliver certain values. That devices are technology based when it comes to the ISP and telco base. So they are additional to a certain technology, and that is the device you as an organization is relying on to deliver that value. So not just money. So you may be looking at sustaining that particular service or value you are giving to your customer. It may be the reason you need to refurbish.
Sure.
Do you understand? Instead of bringing in new ones that you maybe it will take you time to bring in, maybe it may not be the same specs as what you are currently using.
That's also true.
It's also true there. At the same time, being a new device, and that means you have to start to retrain your internal people to get used to that new device. That's also another cost.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you understand? So plenty of us, so it's not just about saving money, it is about the value that device gives. And talking about our process is pretty simple. Just some steps. When we interface with you, like we dealt with some ISPs that we've We don't just only refurbish, we also supply those refurbished items. So we first of all do a screening, we collect those materials from the warehouse or we ship it to our warehouse. Okay, we screen those devices, run some food diagnostic tests on them, check their conditions, know what is damaged, look at it aesthetically, what it is going to require a certain repair on the outside. Then we now proceed into the repairs. Okay, so we proceed into the repair, we place the parts. So, and these parts are sourced from the OEM directly themselves. Okay, so we source the required spares and we fix them. And in some of those devices, they may require some cosmetics fixes as well. You know, maybe there is a broken casing. You know, most of those devices are housed in something. So there may be a damaged port, maybe a broken case. So all those aesthetics look of it, we fix it. In some cases, we even repaint, we name the brand and do a lot of things. So then we do that cosmetic renewal. Then after that, it goes through a lot of rigorous testing to certify it fit to be shipped and used back. So we test it and even upgrade the firmware, like I mentioned before. And just to put it also in perspective, it's not all devices that are refurbished that you can refurbish. Okay? So some may be damaged completely that you may not be able to. So instead of refurbishing them, the money it will take to even refurbish, you may not even be refurbished. You just have to do away with it. So you could harness those materials. For example, it may be an internal issue. You could still use the casing as a spare.
So you can sell them off and sell to scrap.
You can sell as scrap, then you can how do I put it now? You can decommission them into spares. So for example, if another type of device came in with a broken case, you already have one that you decommission that has a good case.
Okay.
So you could take that case, bring in the engine part of the other one and put it into the both case that you have decommissioned. So you don't totally just throw it away also. But there are ones that you have to fully dispose of. So that's why we also do that. Part of our process is to dispose those things in an eco-friendly recycling manner that will not affect the planet. You know, even though we are trying to make money, we also have to save the planet as well. When it comes to being aware of carbon emission and what burning does in the soil of the ground. So, you know, corporate social responsibility is also encompassing as well. So we have to also have it at the front of our mind. I don't always like to say at the back of our mind. You know, so exactly. So basically, that's how our process in the renewal work with Zoracom.
Wow.
And we are currently set up working with some partners.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a small warehouse we are working now, but we are expanding it into a bigger warehouse where we could accommodate more equipment, more technicians are coming in for new diagnostics. Then also a lot of logistics measures are being put in place so that we could meet up with lead times in delivering with our clients.
All right. Okay, this like I said earlier, that this is very.
There's a lot of. Maybe we are going to have one session of this.
Okay, before I go down to the next question, I would like to ask you. Someone just dropped a question in the comment section, which I want you to also probably expatiate on it. Okay, this question was sent in from Shalom. All right, we state, we have a lot in our company. We have a lot in our company network devices. What is the first step to take to renew those devices?
Okay, so put it in perspective, are they already faulty devices?
Okay, I guess so.
Okay.
If you stated.
So yeah, if they are faulty devices, just get in touch with us. First, we need to have a list of those equipment, know the equipment type that they have. Probably we get some samples. We can either pick it up from you or you ship it to us.
Okay.
Okay. So we look at those equipment samples, carry out some diagnostics on them, see what it entails to repair them. We can take up a discussion from there, basically.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Shannon. Okay, by the end of this section, we are going to, the display contacts will be on the screen, so you can easily contact. And then also, if you're still tuned with us, thank you for staying up to this time. We are on all social media platforms, so you can kindly follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and also on LinkedIn to follow all the trends and every update we need to drop for you to get notified. So do well to check Zoracom on Twitter, Facebook, and also on LinkedIn. All right. So the next question I have for you.
Okay.
Pending when we'll have other questions drop in on the comment section. So please do well to drop in your questions. And if you want to speak, just kindly notify me on the comment section and we'll unmute you so you can speak. What functionalities are offered by the web tool to aid the repair and refurbishing process?
All right. Thank you very much for that question. You know, at Zora Communication, like I mentioned before, our business is divided into 3 major streams.
Okay, you mentioned that.
Observability,
yes.
cybersecurity, and
renewal.
So here, our observability solution works hand in hand with our infrastructure solution, which is under review. So what we do under observability, we have a service management solution, like a web application that is built, you know, to manage a lot of all these workflows when it comes to inventories and the like. So it's a tool that, you know, you can monitor every of your devices on. So when we collect devices, we input the details of those devices on this tool, which also our client or customer has interface to. So they could track, okay, we gave you 5 devices. Those devices have been entered, so you can access it, the details, even report analytics of all those devices and what has been done on them. So we have to incorporate automation, because when it comes to devices and spare management, is a whole lot. Even at the level of normal store management. Okay. So in some cases, we may incorporate RFIDs so that we can track those devices appropriately. So automation, definitely we are keeping on it, and we want to make sure that we delight our customers. So we are not mixing another client's equipment that are the same thing to another one. So proper tracking is being put in place. So that's what the web tool really does. So there's little to what we could talk about in this short period of time.
Exactly.
So, but just get on board with us, talk to our sales team. The numbers are rolling on the screen. Give us a call. Let us see how we can do business together.
Okay. All right. Pending when I have another question, I have one last question for you that I really want to know about, and I'm sure our viewers will also need to know this. Okay. You mentioned the operational process, which is also automated, and you don't need to worry yourself about it. So you mentioned earlier the benefits, which is the financial cost in the beginning of our discussion. So what are the benefits of this renew and refurbish? You said it's a product which is renew, that is the name. So under the refurbish. So what if customers, if our viewers out there and companies out there need to get on board? So what are these benefits of the renew and then the refurbish?
I've mentioned it earlier. Key thing is benefit is cost saving.
Okay. Like
I mentioned, we are looking at saving up to 50-80%.
Okay.
Compared to buying new ones. Right. That's one of the benefits that we derive. And of course, improved uptime, network uptime. You understand? So we are no longer shipping maybe to China or Sweden or anywhere else to repair or refurbish it and ship it back. Everything will be done here locally. So look at that lead time. So you have a more improved uptime. Then it is environmentally sustainable. So factoring in waste reduction when it comes to disposing of some devices that may no longer use. Then of course you have ensure that you can quickly scale up. Quickly scaling up means, for example, let me just put a scenario in place while I wrap it up. Okay. You have an FTTH deployment and you need to put 4 entities in those customers' location. So you could work with refurbished. Maybe you bought enough items in the long run and some warranty along the line if the customer got damaged, you recover them. You could refurbish those ones, send it back like a new one for your new customers. Instead of ordering and buying and buying. Yes.
Have to do a new installation.
Exactly. So you call it out, refurbish it, use it for a new fresh customer.
Wow.
So those are the benefits and a whole lot of other benefits that you get to derive, from keying into rethinking and aligning with refurbishing.
Okay.
So, like I mentioned, refurbishing does not mean repair. So it is like you are having your new device back.
Wow. This is very interesting. I must say thank you for honoring this invitation and breaking this down so much to our understanding.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you stayed with us up to this point, we really appreciate your time and thank you for keeping tabs with us. So you can also follow on all happenings for you to know everything about Zoracom on our Twitter. We're on Twitter, we're on LinkedIn, and also on Facebook. And also do well to turn on your notification button to always know, give you the time at which we make the post to give information for you to follow. And this video as well, you can also follow up on our YouTube channel. Just check on, just type on Zoracom and you get every information you need to know. And if you have any other further question or you want to speak with us to
directly
get details on this product which is Renew and also get on board with business. So just like you can send a mail to us on info@zoracom.com. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And then our numbers will be displayed on the screen for you to follow and also the pages for you to follow through on it. So kindly keep in tune with us and we really appreciate your time for joining us in this section. And we also look forward to see you same time next month when we'll be discussing on another interesting topic. And thank you very much for staying with us.
Thank you for your time, everybody.